Matt says, should the Google Business website, social links, ID page, and GBP be submitted inside of Citations? Why or why not? Well, it depends on the directory site, Matt. If it allows you to include social links and all of that, yeah, absolutely you should, because it's creating, again, associations. It's about corroborating brand information or entity information. Does that make sense? So yeah, you definitely should you want to flesh out directory listings with as much detail as possible. I've absolutely found it is more about quality than it is quantity. That's why I like Yext Power Listings. And there's other competitors that do very similar things. But I like Yext Power Listings, not directly through Yext, by the way. That's stupid. I don't know why anybody would pay directly through Yext for that. Go to SEMrush. If you have a SEMrush account, you can get Yext Power Listings there for $20 per month per location. No contract. It's so much better. I sell them in Semantic Links. I'm just reselling them from SEMrush for $34 a month. So if any of y'all need Yext Power Listings for any of your locations, I charge $34 a month. But if you have your own SEMrush subscription, you can get them for 20. Okay. But that's why I like those, because you can go in and fully flesh out the Yext profile, and including all of your social media links, a very well optimized description, a bunch of images, which that in and of itself is very powerful. What you can do with Yext with images is very powerful. I'm not going to reveal that here. I'll talk about it in the mastermind for anybody that wants to know. And if they're curious, by the way, we have a mastermind webinar tomorrow. But you can do a lot of really cool things in Yext in that, because you can fully optimize the profile, flesh it out. So it's a super optimized profile that then syncs or distributes out across 60 to 75 directory listings, depending on whether it's a published street address and also what type of business it is. But if it's a published street address, even contractors and such, it's somewhere around 60, 65 or 70, 65 to 70-ish directory listings that are very well optimized. And I think those are so much more valuable than having hundreds of just very basic unoptimized listings. That makes sense. And so, yeah, you can include a lot of these things. For example, social links. You can't there with Yext Power Listings. There's an option to add an additional, what they call a featured message and a featured message URL, and that is a really cool little hack that gives you an additional link. We typically will link to the Google Business website or the Google Map share URL with that, but you could link to the ID page, for example. As far as like optimizing other areas of the profile, it doesn't allow you to insert links to most of the other areas of the profile, at least not in Yext, it doesn't. So, but where you can, if you're going out and doing this stuff manually, then in certain cases, you're able to add additional links in places. And yeah, absolutely. And by the way, we are going to be relaunching Syndication Academy, although it's not going to be called Syndication Academy anymore because we're not really focused on syndicating anymore. I just met with our trainer, Essie, that manages that program just yesterday, as a matter of fact. And so she's in the process now of updating it. We're going to be relaunching that. I don't know if it's going to be in January, probably be in February, only because we're going to be launching the DHA program in January. I don't know. Anyway, in the next month or two, we're going to be relaunching Syndication Academy in a simplified version of it that is more about what we're calling it Brand Expander. And Brand Expander is all about just really building these branded profiles. Business directory listings can be included in that, by the way, and fully optimizing them and then interlinking them. And so it's not going to be more the syndication. We're still going to include the old training for IFTTT if people want to build syndication networks. That's fine. But that's not what we're focused on at Semantic Mastery now. It's more about expanding the entity footprint, which is what I've been talking about for several years now. And it really, that's what I do in my own agency now, is we just continually build out branded assets for our clients. And that, again, includes local or business directory listings, and fully optimize them and interlink them. And then always make sure that we're assisting with discoverability, meaning we're always helping Google to associate those profile URLs on each of those platforms with the brand. And again, we accomplished a lot of that with schema and also the ID page, et cetera, the Google Business website, Google Business Posts, all of the things that I usually talk about. So anyway, hope that was a good question, Matt. I appreciate that. But yeah, absolutely. You want to optimize them as much as possible and interlink as much as possible, including social media links and additional assets, et cetera. Okay. ID page, guys, is really the fourth component of the local entity, in my opinion. I've talked about the holy trinity of the local entity are the three components right? The three primary components of the local entity: the main website, self-hosted site, which is the organic side. The Google Business Profile is the map side. The Google Business website is a bridge that connects organic to maps. But once the ID page is created and optimized fully, then I kind of treat the ID page as the fourth tier zero component, if that's clear, right? Because that can really become the entity home. You can do a lot of really powerful things with an ID page when you do it properly. So